What's up, freight brokers? I hope you're doing well today. Glad to be back with you again. I have some information that I have to share with you today. Hope your weekend was well. We're going back into this thing full ride now. It's Monday. It's time to get down to the business again. Today we're talking about sales calls, right? In particular, we're talking about cold calls. Everybody loves cold calls, right? Oh man, I know you can't wait to get out of bed to start those cold calls. I know you've been thinking about it all weekend and just can't wait until Monday gets here so you can start your cold calls, right? Just kidding. Most of us, including me, aren't looking forward to cold calls. Cold calls is a dirty game. It's a game of rejection all day long, and that gets old. When you're calling somebody and they're not welcoming your call, most of us will get tired of that real quick, right? And a lot of us have problems with cold calls, even more problems with cold calls, because we don't do it with any coordinated effort. We don't do it with any method to our madness. Everything that we're doing is quite chaotic, and we don't get nearly the results that we want. And after a while, we just figure that cold calling is not a game for us to play. Here's what I want to warn you of. Cold calling is mandatory. You have to call customers that you don't know, that don't know you yet, so you can get to know those customers in order for you to offer your service and move some of those loads. Because that's what we're in the business of as freight brokers, reaching out to customers, offering our service so we can move loads. Because guess what? You know it. If you don't move loads, you don't make money. Here's what I want to do for you today in this video. We're going to talk about cold calls specifically and aim in on some things that you are probably doing in your business that's not getting you the results that you want. And then we're going to take a look at a different way of doing it that will hopefully increase your results. Hopefully, you'll get better results. So come on inside, sit back, relax, and let's get into the video. All right, so let's first talk about what a sales call is and what a sales call is not. A sales call is an opportunity for me as a freight broker to put my service in front of a shipper who we refer to as a traffic manager, also known as a traffic manager, right? I want to put my service in front of him so that he understands it. I explain it to show him what it is, how it works, how it saves him time, how it removes him from the equation, inserts me, and now I manage the movement of his freight. I take all of the hits and I report back to him, right? Now, here's the good thing about the service that I'm offering to the shipper. It is not foreign to him. He understands the service. He's very likely using the service with other people right now. So we're not explaining something that's new. This is something that he's already familiar with, right? So what I am trying to do is just to convince him to do some of his business with me. So I have to show the benefit of my service. I have to show how it would, be in his best interest to use this service. A sales call is not my opportunity to go to the shipper to ask them for help, for them to help me get my business off the ground, for them to give me something. I don't go with an expectation that the shipper is in a role to help me, that he needs to provide something to me so that I can advance myself, advance my business. I don't look at it that way. I want to go in a posture of how I can help, because I just don't think that shippers are in the business of trying to look out for a freight broker, trying to help him build his business. I think shippers are looking for people who can help solve their issues, people that are innovative, people that have a service or services, I should say, that could be beneficial to the shipper. I don't think this is about what a shipper can do for you. This is about what you can do for the shipper. I think it was JFK that said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. As an entrepreneur, we have to find out what we can provide, what we can do for a shipper, how we can solve the problem, how we can bring value to the table. If you're doing that, you'll get more opportunities to work with shippers. If you're just asking for a favor, if you're just asking for someone to help you, then that's probably not going to go over as well as someone who's showing how they can help. And I think the main reason why a lot of you and why a lot of new freight brokers push that panic button, that help button, how can you help me, is because you really don't understand how your service can help a shipper. You see, you haven't identified what you're good at. You haven't identified what you can really provide to a shipper just yet. Basically, what you're doing is just depending on calling a shipper and a shipper giving you a chance. Yes, that's going to work sometimes, but that's not going to work enough. That's going to keep you afloat. That's going to keep your business moving in the right direction. That's going to keep you getting new customers. So we don't want to continue on that route. It's important now to identify exactly what it is that you do and what you offer. Start thinking about how you can distinguish yourself from other freight brokers. What is your unique selling point? What is it about your service that's a little bit different? What is it about your customer service that offers maybe more professionalism, more of a up close and personal experience? What is it about the way that you move loads? Do you offer an LTL service? Do you offer to pay your shippers lumper fees? What is it about your service that's unique? Why would a shipper want to say, you know what? I want to work with Brandon over at Alliance Logistics because of this. What is that because of this for you? You have to take a look at that, a long look at your service to know what it is. And then you can explain it, and the shipper can decide whether or not your service will be of benefit to him. That's what you want. Now let's go back. We didn't talk about this in the beginning, but this is the most important piece that I see a lot of new freight brokers missing out on. I'm sure you've heard of this quote. I think it says, success is where preparation and opportunity meet. We miss the preparation part. A lot of you pick up a list, you buy a list, and you just start calling different businesses, companies on that list. That's a mistake in my opinion. I like to start doing some research on those companies, finding out information about those companies, information like what type of freight are they moving? Are they moving FTL freight, LTL freight? Are they moving more FTL than they are LTL? What lanes are they moving freight in? What region are they moving freight in? Do I have trucks already in those areas? How am I going to find this out? Well, I'm going to talk to carriers. I'm going to find out from carriers that may have moved loads with these shippers before. Did you go in under brokers or did you go in direct to shippers? I want to find out as much information as I can about the shipper before I start calling, because I'm always more confident. I feel more comfortable calling shippers when I have some clue already of what they do. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this information has been helpful. You'll have to decide what direction you're going to go in your business when it comes down to sales calls. Sales calls is probably the most important thing you'll do today, so don't do it randomly. Do it with a method to the way that you're operating. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series, and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It will give you a chance to come into the office with me, watch over my shoulder as I move loads, talk to shippers, talk to carriers. That way you can get a better understanding of how the business works before you come into it. And then if you're interested in learning more about how we go out and find the shippers that we work with, I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.